Hello and welcome back, everyone. And we are in the process of upgrading our fleet, researching better technology to catch up, and we will probably declare another war, or they will declare on us. The possibility exists, and continue pushing towards the German Republic and their allies, more like the Federation of three pretty powerful nations. Actually, this is the main threat we have right now in the galaxy. Um, with the fact that I still have no idea where are the fallen empires, just don't know if they even exist right now, but I think I did spawn them. This federation gives us the biggest challenge right now. They're the main resisting force, right, of the organics. And yeah, so this is it's going to be our main goal to wipe them out eventually. Let's get let's make it over here. This is a 4 tiles engineering research, very solid. Let's fill this up. Just use some stuff. Let's make it balanced because it also has a nice engineering output research bonus. Hold on, just gonna make it a mix between researchers and energy workers. Okay, now we use some structures. Need to make sure I get my macros right. Stop using my old habits. Alright, just gonna. Alright, so gonna keep space for energy grid once administrative array is going to be available. Hello there. Alright, so we are completely full with minerals. Let's get more fleets. And let's get more anchorages. Let's get some upgrades going on. Opa, and we have finally reached final tradition and versatility, which gives us the option to terraform into machine worlds, and we will waste no precious moment, and we will start by converting our tomb world, our home world, into a machine world as first priority. We're gonna take the second, which now we're just gonna pick the best planets. And some here. Just gonna stuff some more anchorages. Alright, let's pick the next best planet. So this is Mizar Prime, and it has some good incomes. Yeah, this is a good candidate, absolutely. Another machine world queued up. That's a 10k, I think, for each reward. So next we have up with Prime, 5719. Oh, this is good. Look at all this mineral production. This is going to be another one. But that's enough for now, I think, since we are also going over the cap. Yeah, so we have 3 worlds. Terraforming into machine worlds. Once they will finish, they will get a nice boost into production, which is going to be of very good, very important help to our economy. Alright, so 4 fleets, and I think this is going to be a good time to research text to increase the fleet limit of the admirals, because 130 is just too little. Nothing interesting here. Just let's get something that researches fast so we can roll the next stack. Let's get this energy siphon. Okay. Tachyon Lance is almost done. Oh, we should get this probability engine. Let's get this up and going. I need to replace something for that. Something needs to go. One of those power plants. Right, so next we have resource replicators. An excellent building, really, that helps you out with converting energy into minerals if you have too much energy. A very good building. Oops. You go Let's get capacity overload back up and running. Okay. So engineering is something we really need. So let's focus on engineering research labs. Let's see what we will roll now. Frequency tuning. Right, fleet command capacity is more important. We need to increase that to increase our fleets. Yeah. So star bases are upgrading, then we will get more slots for anchorages. This is a pretty much useless configuration. Let's get some more anchorages over here. Oh, it's a nebula refinery as well. Small orders, man, just are so abusive. So many insults from those cute lizards. Oh, there's a pirates over here. Yep. Oh, excuse me. Now you can see just since we're already here, you can see the new missiles. Accuracy is 100, but tracking is only 25, and 25 is like it's very bad, even in terms of just destroyer and the blade game. Just 25 tracking against like 60, 90 evasion. Those missiles have no chance at hitting. They ignore shield, but doesn't ignore armor, so armor stops them. However, if you look at torpedoes instead, torpedoes is a different story. Torpedoes, no, not those torpedoes. There we go. So they ignore shield penetration, but they also deal, they ignore shields and they also deal double damage against armor. This is huge. So basically, nothing really stops them. If there are no PDs, they just go through the shields, blow up the armor, and immediately start working on the hull. Very, very powerful. It's relatively rare that I get such a getting capped at minerals. It doesn't really happen often. Right, so Delta Fleet, let's keep upgrading it. Right, so those Gauss cannons are going to be a nice upgrade to our, I think, cruisers and battleships that make use of them. Right, so fleet capacity looks good. If I were to pick a 5th Ascension perk, what would I go for? So World Shaper is pretty good. Doesn't look like something very attractive, but it allows you to terraform more machine worlds at once since it reduces the terraforming cost. This is a nice opportunity, a nice choice. Galactic Force Projection, not really helpful, at least for now with the fleet cap limit being at 1000. We can get to that just even without this perk, so it's really underwhelming. The fleet command limit is actually nice though, but yeah, it's really not that impressive. Defender of the Galaxy is really, just a moment, just pick another technology. More machine modification points, but Stonefire Cannons. Absolutely. They carry us to our battles, so it's absolutely going to take this upgrade. That this is a good sign. And before we continue with Ascension perks, let's queue up some upgrades with our fleets. Get this new shiny Gauss cannons. Do we have? We don't have tier 5 shields though, so. Okay, so there we go. Upgrade 1, 2, 3. Right, so back to Ascension perks. Defender of the Galaxy is really situational perk if you find yourself struggling against the crisis, and it's absolutely possible. And it's possible against contingency, or if you play like with a big crisis modifier, like 2.5k fleet or more, you're going to face some pretty strong fleets. Then absolutely this is a viable choice. Interstellar Dominion, I don't think I think it's useless. Claim influence cost and Starbane's influence cost. You probably noticed that we are swimming with influence, especially as Machine Empire. So we don't really need that. Now, if that was something like maybe decrease mineral costs of star bases, that would have been a completely different story. But this is not the case. Eternal Vigilance is okay, the most attractive part about it is actually the defense platform +5. It's okay, really situational because you really need to develop some strong fortresses, and I don't know, maybe if you have just several choke points leading to your empire and they are key choke points that you just want to fortify them as much as possible, absolutely, I mean, viable. But other than that, not really. I think there are better options. And then we have technological ascendancy, research speed +10. I mean, you don't really notice the difference. Just 10% research speed is nothing too impressive. Mastery of Nature is a pretty good, pretty decent perk, I think, especially its secondary modifier that it allows you to add tiles into planets. This is very nice. Clear blocker cost is a very nice early game when you still growing your economy. Imperial Purgative is like if you have some grudge with sectors, so you absolutely hate them, this is for you, but otherwise I think it's a waste of a perk. Voidborn, amazing perk. Habitats are excellent, especially if you're like you can't expand because your neighbors are too powerful and you just want to you need to continue to develop your economy. It means you can build inside your territory with habitats and expand from the inside. Excellent perk. It also unlocks ring wards. The Colossus project, probably gonna get a lot of flack, but I think so, it's only partially really useful. There's like two meters when it's going. The meters of it looks cool, and the meters that it's actually practical. Now, it absolutely looks cool. I mean, planet crackers are just amazing. Just your own Death Stars. In terms of how practical they are, well, I mean, what's the point in destroying planets when you can just capture them, colonize them, and just set them to construct to just produce minerals for your empire? So destroying them, there's not much purpose. On the other hand, there's the neutron sweep, I think, which is an excellent. There are two super weapons which I think they are the best. Are the neutron sweep, which just cleans up the entire population in one go. It's just a quick purge button, allows you to immediately settle a captured planet. That's number one. And the second one, I think it's the one that fanatical spiritualists have, spiritualist empire, the one that converts entire populations into spiritualists. Very, very strong weapon just to eliminate all those, what's it called, this annoying, when you just capture the xenophobic empires, they start forming up factions that completely negate your ethics, just making mess. It eliminates that. You just point them at the next, point them at the nearest location of the xenophobic faction, just shoot the beam, suddenly they're all spiritualist. Excellent weapon. Planet Cracker, I don't think there's a practical reason to use it other than it's just freaking cool to blow up stuff. Absolutely, if you like blowing stuff, this is for you, but for practical reasons, not really. And the one that pacifists have that just shields war, I mean, really, what's the point? Just show it cool to just isolate someone from the entire world, but there isn't any practical reason to do it. I mean, it doesn't really benefit you in some way. Yeah, but I guess the element of coolness is most of it. I'm thinking the next thing I'm gonna take is probably it's yeah. So yeah, Circle of Life, Ring of Ward is really just super habitats. Master builders, I mean it's okay, really. Just for Megastructure build speed is okay, but after you build them all, it kind of loses its point. Galactic Wonders, to be honest, Sentry arrays they were amazing at 1.9, but in 2.0, less amazing. And the reason is, well, you can see right now. I mean, I have good vision on everything. I see the entire enemy fleets of my neighbors. I see everything that's relevant to my borders. I can see it. I mean, I can see everything. So this is because of the new sensor system. So Sentry Array was absolutely freaking amazing in 1.9. Less amazing with the new 2.0. And we can pick more command limit. This is perfect. Let's get that. So yeah, Dyson Sphere is amazing, especially with the new resource replicator. So if you have like lots of what's it called, lots of energy from Dyson Sphere, and you want more minerals, you could just buy a bunch of replicators and just convert some of that into minerals. Absolutely excellent synergy. Dyson Sphere is an amazing mega structure. And yeah, Research Nexus also got buffed several times, also another viable. Mega Structure is also a good Ascension perk. Yeah, I think those are the best. Galactic Wonders, Colossus Project to some degree would be, I think, my favorite picks. And maybe if I'm forced to, then Galactic, not what's it called, Defender of the Galaxy. And then maybe that, but that's really about that. Another problem with the Newton Swift that sometimes you do want to keep purging pops, and it's because as long as you purge them, they produce energy. I mean, you turn them into living battery. The Newton Swift just erases them immediately. So it really depends what you want. You want just to quickly colonize the planet, which is fine for us because we don't need extra energy. Or you just want to still keep benefiting from purging pops and just gain more energy income. So yeah, but Newton Sweep is an excellent. I think it's a good super weapon. It's very useful. All right, so that's about Ascension perks. Let's repair some structures. This planet is good to go. This goes to our sector. Okay, so all right, so we increased our fleet capacity. Well, that is command limit, but we still need to build more anchorages. And those are all star fortresses, and they are ready for some anchorages. So let's get them. Give them some anchorages. Perfect. Trading hubs. Let's get this upgrade to some of those. Get some anchorages over here. Yeah, that should do. Right, let's further increase the rest of the fleets. So we want more cruisers. We want more. Yeah, that's pretty much about that. Get a fifth battleship to round up the numbers. More corvettes. More destroyers. Okay, Gamma Fleet is up. For Gamma Fleet, we're gonna round up this number, of course, and give them more destroyers. Perfect. Alright, so there's that. The resource replicators should be available, and so Stonefire Cannon. This is going to be a huge upgrade since we're so reliant on storm cannons, and they're just such a good weapon. I mean, you see how good they are. It's nearly the super end game, and we've used them since the very beginning, since the time we unlocked them, and they were always performing well. If you put them on corvettes, on destroyers, on cruisers, they're just good at what they do. They're just generally good weapons. So this is also what keeps corvettes, this and the torpedoes, but specifically Stonefire Cannons, is just what keeps corvettes so relevant in the late game. So yeah, Stonefire Cannons, just autocannons in general, I think this is really one of my favorite weapon. It's just so reliable. And yeah, you can see results, really. Just pulling its weight. Right, hopefully we'll get torpedoes after this. That would be or kinetic battery, even better. Either of the two would be very nice. How's our machine world going? Alright. I think 25% is done. Actually, we can queue more machine worlds. What are we waiting for? Let's queue some more machine worlds. This is a good candidate. What the hell am I waiting for? I have plenty of energy. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is perfect. This is going to produce a lot of minerals. Alright, so the goal now, we have excellent economy. We just need naval capacity, so we should get into massive anchorage construction. We have lots of starholds that can house them, and we are not making any use of them, which is not good. So let's do this. Plenty of minerals. Oh, forgot to research. Okay, so kinetic battery. Perfect. This is going to be very important. So kinetic battery is a good step into better fleets. Kinetic battery is a really good weapon. And once kinetic battery is going to research, we are going to completely overhaul our fleets into a more late game style fleets designed against countering stuff like mass battleships and cruisers. And you will see exactly how once this will be researched. So there's an actual transition in fleet loadouts from the early game to mid game and late game, with late game being the more like the biggest difference. As you unlock more weapons and weapon types, and how fleets are composed, like you see more battleships. You no longer run with the same composition or weapons through the entire game like a previous patch. Like you just unlocked plasma and just went plasma until the end. Now it's completely different, which is nice. There's a lot of variety, and I really like it. It's one of the best things I like about this patch. It added so much variety to combat. There's lots of weapon combinations that work. So replicators are done. Let's get this. Let's get cloud lighting. We're gonna make use of it later on. Okay. Some facilities. Ethereum power plants. And yeah, this is done as well. Go to our sector. There's another planet that can be colonized, but I think our sector is going to colonize it. Alright, so this is the fifth the fifth Cybrex artifact. The next one will if we get another one, we'll get the event and we can find the ring world. There's hoping it's actually in our territory. That would be nice. Oops, I'm paused. And the end game is the crisis is 7 years until crisis that it can spawn, and no empires have been awakened. This is the first game ever, I think, that I've never seen a fallen empire so far. I guess they are over here. There's one here because they didn't expand towards that. There's like this strange gap. Yes, there's one here, another one there, and maybe another one around here, maybe. But it's really rare that I didn't find any of them. Okay, so Delta Fleet is ready to receive more ships. Let's give him some more corvettes and more destroyers. Perfect. This is going to be an excellent weak fleet. I highly recommend just always have a fleet that is like a quick fleet that can respond to like annoying random ships entering your borders and just capturing systems. So instead of pulling one of your main fleets, you just take your fast response fleet and chase them down and capture what they did. And I only did it late, but I should have done it early on. But you should get such a fleet. It's really helpful. And this is huge. Autonomous ship intellects that will give us the best ship computers. This is a very, very good technology. The disadvantage of this, specifically the version of the machines, is that when if the contingency is the crisis you're facing, this will give you if you use ships with this computer, it will give them a debuffs, meaning you can't use these computers as long as the contingency is active. Okay, so all our ships, all our caps, or all our fleets are kept at the maximum command limit. Okay, and we need to stack more anchorages or anchorage bases. Absolutely. And so we had lots of those star holds, right? Now the star upgrading. It just takes so long for them to upgrade. But there's the first. They're just finishing upgrading as we speak. We're gonna build some anchorages in them and make sure to build a naval logistic office to increase the anchorage and naval bonuses, their capacity. It should get us closer. Oh, there's a nebula refinery that we can build here. Let's do this first. Okay. It's all of them? No. Now this is going to give us a big boost to naval capacity. There we go. That's gonna set us for the long run. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. That is more than enough. So just waiting for this kinetic battery to finish. And once our fleets will be properly set, we will go for war. What we can do, in a matter of fact, is we can just we can vesselize them. What? What we can do is we can just declare war on the robots and just go rampage, just take more territory out of them. There's nothing stopping us from doing so. So let's get Beta Fleet to do this. So let's get Delta Fleet to do this so it can gain some experience. It's also relatively, it's the faster of the fleets, and they will probably face no major resistance. Let's give them I don't think they need a transport fleet unless we want to eradicate these robots for good. Maybe we should. Maybe I think it's time for them to die. Yeah, maybe they should die. Let's get one transport fleet to follow Delta. Still no technology to upgrade our armies though. I wonder why it's so. Why is it so rare? I mean, it's so late into the game. Not even. There are several of them. Not even one popped up. I even have maybe it's because I need a military theory scientist, perhaps. I'm not sure. It's just annoying to fight with outdated armies, and what's and determined exterminators, they don't get bonus to army damage like fanatic purifiers and devouring swarm. So yeah, you're really behind in army strength. But so our sector is colonizing the second planet. Alright, let's go mess up the robots. And kinetic battery is almost ready. Perfect. Just gonna update our fleets before we go to war with this. Okay. And battleship hull points is sure, why not? Okay, research modification points, not really needed. Explosive damage is good, but nobody guarantees it's in our border. Let's go for battleship hull points. Or actually, let's go for shorter researches so we can have a better chance to roll the torpedoes we want. So let's get this mining station, mining resources. Right. So anyway, let's update our fleets. So kinetic battery is the counterpart of the neutron launchers in terms of long range, large damage dealing weapons. So the thing about them is that they have only a mediocre accuracy, right? So they have everything, but their accuracy is not as good as neutron torpedoes, which has like 90% and even 5 tracking. So how do you complement that? Well, you mount them on the hull, on the ship that has that you can stack as many bonuses to hit chance that you possibly can, and that be your cruiser. So what we do now is we completely overhaul our fleet composition. Instead of neutron torpedoes, our cruisers will now carry kinetic batteries, and as medium weapons, I think we're gonna give them lasers. Actually, we can keep the Reaper autocannons, which we can actually upgrade, and I completely forgot. So with cruisers, you have 2 auxiliary slots, aux slots that you can give more chance to hit for the kinetic batteries, sensors boost their tracking, and shower the computers. Now, kinetic battery on battleships is less of a good choice because the difference is that on battleships, well, you don't have the picket computer, which means you don't have the tracking. You don't have the option to mount tracking modules on them. So their large weapons are much less accurate than large weapons that are mounted on cruisers. So cruisers are the best ship types to mount large weapons, just because they can stack more accuracy modules. And now, for our neutron torpedo carriers, destroyers are going to take this role now, and we're going to completely change their loadout. We're going to give them a large slot. Gonna give them the neutron torpedo, which has already good accuracy, so it doesn't need a lot of boosts. And for the second, what's it called? For the second module, we're going to give them 2 autocannons. Just notice how I like autocannons. They are just so effective. And we need as much shields as we can possibly stack. After bonus would be perfect, and that would be excellent. That just makes a great use of all the power. So this is our new torpedo, our new neutron launcher ships. So we have our kinetic damage, good numbers. We have our energy damage. Should upgrade some autocannons here as well. And this is pretty much good to go. Now, another option you should do is make destroyers that focus also on kinetic battery beside the cruisers, and there's a good reason for that. We'll call them, let's say, Maledict. Let's say kinetic, right? So K type. Okay. So the reason is that at some situations, cruisers will have more problems surviving than destroyers, like against battleships, because cruisers are more vulnerable to battleships than destroyers. and you still want your something to carry kinetic batteries. So cruisers will probably die relatively fast. So you want instead destroyers that can do the job, and they can work in together with the ones that carry neutron launchers. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. So let's get some gamma lasers here and give them shields, and we're gonna give them tracking, of course. All right, so there we go. So this is pretty much sets you up, well, except the Corvette, which isn't updated to torpedoes, but in terms of destroyers and cruisers, this sets you up for the late game. This is an excellent loadout for the late game battles. There's two types of destroyers, one cruiser. For battleship, we can make this is a fairly decent loadout, just general. But if you want to make something specifically against other battleships, we can try making that. Let's just get up tachyon lance. If you have giga cannons, I suggest use giga cannons. Let's just make a new battleship. Actually, just make two types of battleships. Let's make a new design. Make it all large slots and particle lens. Problem is now the best option would be neutron launchers. That's because neutron launchers have such a good accuracy to help offset battleships' inability to get a nice tracking computer. This is a good option, and there's another good option that is Cloud Lightning. Now, Cloud Lightning doesn't seem to do much damage, but it ignores it. First of all, it has excellent accuracy and tracking. This allows battleships to engage even small targets effectively with this weapon. Now it ignores shields, it ignores armor, it also ignores armor. This solves the problem of pretty much giving the battleship some form of ability to go to engage through enemy shields, because kinetic battery isn't really good for battleships since it's extremely inaccurate. Hell, even against other battleships. So we're gonna stuff some Cloud Lightnings, and even better if you have an Archimeter, that's the perfect combination. But right now we don't have Archimeters. Archimeter is actually another good weapon. Right, so let's get some accuracy modules to help offset the tachyon lance, just to push the accuracy further. And this is perfect. Let's call it beam. All right, and that's going to be our anti-battleship loadout. Right, this episode is going way out of time, so this is up for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.